I should have come into this one prepared. Been watching a lot of documentaries lately. It's been my new my
Okay.
new shtick. I'm trying to remember the one that we just got through. Been kind of trying to go down the path of don't fuck with cats, and
Yeah.
just kind of giving ChatGPT that prompt and find me more like that. And so it's taken me down some wild trails. A lot of going into like just the fact that I don't think that you can start a cult without them fucking kids. That just kind of seems to go the way of things each time.
I think that's yeah. There's with cults, they eventually devolve into like weird sex stuff. Like it's just a thing that they. I can't think of a cult that didn't end that way, where they're like they stopped at a. You know what? Suicide pacts, like
Mm,
the Hail Bop people, Heaven's Gate.
never heard of them fucking kids.
No, no. Well, they went so far as to cut their balls off.
They knew they would eventually, so they just took care of it ahead
Yeah,
of
let's just
time.
get this. Let's just get this out of the
Smart.
way. Let's just figure that part out. And it turns out, so this is after digging into this. So Marshall Applewood, the guy that
Yeah.
founded um, Heaven's Gate, um, he had crazy. He'd had some like gay scandals as a college professor. He was deeply ashamed of being gay.
Mm,
So like these a lot of dudes who probably had really healthy relationships with their wives and their families otherwise until they met him were convinced by a dude that was ashamed of being gay.
amazing.
Yeah, could, this dude was so ashamed of being gay that he convinced you to cut your balls off.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. That's a strange place, and it's I guess when the army won't take you and the church won't take you, there's always a place that you can get in, and I'm guessing that's who. Like, if you're too weird for the military or you're too weird for church, there's still always going to be a place usually that people will find some group, and there will be some manipulative weirdo
The
that is standing over
charismatic
there
one,
that is
yeah.
like, hey, you can come be a part of my club, all you got to do is cut your dick off. And people are like, as long as it gets me friends, community, some sort of a feeling that I'm not just completely on my own, I think that's who that attracts.
Well, we all need friends.
We do need friends. Worst
Yeah,
thing you can be is without any friends. That's
yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
like to be truly, truly lonely is not something that I've ever experienced, and I wouldn't do well with it. You know, that's a gross, gross feeling to know that like you could die and nobody would care. Like even at your lowest, you have to admit, you know, it would hurt my feelings if you were gone. Same with me. Like I know there's people that even at my lowest, they'd be sad if I was gone, and think about those people that don't have that. And that's how you go join a cult that you get your balls cut off at.
you volunteer to cut your balls off
Yeah,
so you can be a part of the rest of the guys that are going to get on the back of the Hale Bob
yeah, yeah. Ah, fucking. I mean, I look at the wild shit that people do all the time because they're part of a crew, because they're part of a group, because they're part of a team of people, and the rest of the team is going along with it. And then you turn around and like, I mean, I was thinking about something the other day that popped in my brain. I was reading a book on failure, and tells you to think back at a time that you felt like a failure. And the one of the things that popped into my brain was this day in Afghanistan where my friend Manning and I were shooting a cannon back and forth, but we were racing to see we were getting the exact same missions to shoot, the exact same rounds, the exact same location. And every time that dude would beat me by like 2 to 5 seconds. And I was so mad. But what I didn't even think about until I rethought about this situation 2 days ago was that at the end of that day, we had both shot somewhere between 50 and 60 rounds. These rounds each had a kill radius of 35 meters, and we were launching those into a village, and we were just decimating people. And I don't even remember the body count of that day. I didn't even pay attention. I was so numb to it by that point that all I can remember is that guy was a better shooter on a cannon than I was. And I totally disassociated my brain from all of that shit. And that is being part of a team at that level. When you get on that kind of a bond, you will do some things that are incredibly horrific and not even think twice about it. I blew up a village of people that day that I never met. There were no threat to me at the time. They were probably threats to my friends, which I can justify keeping my friends that were out there alive, that I had to do my job. But it should have mattered more to me than that still. There should have been something in there that's like, you're fucking killing people right now. You are ending generations of people right now. And it didn't click like that. It didn't, there was nothing. I was more upset, and the feeling that carried over now for 20 years. This is 2006 when this happened. 20 years this feeling has carried, and the only thing I took from it was that I wasn't as good at shooting my cannon as Manning was at shooting his cannon.
So can I say that you're applying what you know now and who you are now and who you've become now, whether it's through therapy, your plant therapy, through just becoming a better, more present person.
Yeah,
You're applying that to um, feelings like you didn't have that when you were a
I
25-year-old
I
young.
had it before I went in there, and if you would have asked me, if you would have come to me at the beginning of that day and said, "Hey, do you want to go shoot a cannon into a bunch of fucking people just for shits and giggles?" The answer would have been absolutely not. I didn't want to kill anybody just to kill people. But you, under orders, at the end of the day, like, you're able to be like, "I'm just doing my job." And it's this weird mind flip, the same thing that the Nazi soldiers talk about. It's the same thing that any soldier in any horrible amount of genocide, that when they talk to the guys afterwards, when your side loses and now you get held accountable, because as long as you win the war like we did, none of us will ever be held accountable. If the Iraqis would have won the war and brought us in, the Afghanis would have won the war and brought us in, like the Germans, when they lost, they all got brought in. Otherwise they would have just been war heroes if Germany would have got the way they wanted it. It's all in the way that it works. And you go and you look at what was happening in the other concentration camps, and the Nazis were being treated bad also. The Americans were being treated bad. The British were being treated bad. There was all kinds of bad atrocities happening all across the world in war camps. It's fucking happens in war, period. It's just the way shit goes, and it's gross and it's sick, and it's the way people treat each other in those situations. And it's, but it is, again, is what people will do when they are following orders. And when people lose a friend, when they lose a person they care about, a leader, anything like that, there is this feeling of revenge that makes you do and think some sick, sick shit that you look back on and you're like, holy fuck, like, that's not me, but that was me. I am capable of doing that stuff, and that's, it's tough to then know that you're a small percentage of the people out there that are capable of that, and that I think a lot of people are. It's just you were the small percentage that actually got tested in that, and it's tough. It is tough to live with that afterwards. Like, it's cool in one hand to know what you are capable of and how you react in really bad situations like that. It's tough when you come home and that's not what society is anymore. And so I get the idea of not fitting in. Not enough to go cut my dick off to join a cult, but I get the feeling of like coming home, leaving all my friends down there in down south, and none of them were from Alaska, coming up here and trying to get a group of friends together like I had in that unit. And it's taken me 20 years to build, five solid people that I can count on when shit sucks to talk to or go hang out with. And it's, you get that kind of just jammed onto you because everybody has to show their cards pretty quick into the game. That is just that kind of situation where you show who you are. You're not going to be able to put up a front for very long, and at the end of that, when you have a bad day and you show your ass, they decide if that's a type of person they can handle or not. And I happened, my worst days were not enough to lose my friends, and it worked well for the military. It doesn't work really well in the civilian world. And yeah, that not fitting in feeling is a gross feeling. I get that, and I figured out how to kind of re enter into life and be around people again. But it was fucking tough for that first year. And I saw a lot of my buddies, they went to church. That was their thing. They went and they joined a church because immediately they got a circle of people around them. And that was never my place. That was never where I felt that kind of thing. But it's a, I understand it. I can't understand being that desperate, but I can understand feeling how gross that feels to feel lonely. I can feel that. So I get it.
But you didn't chop your balls off.
No, 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 no. Luckily, I figured it out before we got to that point. Never even never even had to give up 10% of my paycheck.
Yeah. So have I'm assuming then that you haven't seen the cinematic masterpiece that is Primate.
I did see that one. I did watch that one. That's the one where the monkeys
The monkey got rabies.
the monkey got rabies.
Yeah. Can we talk about why that was the most disappointing movie ever?
It was it a movie or was it a documentary?
It was a movie.
Okay, then no, I did not watch that one.
Okay, so this is a film where the monkey gets rabies, which, by the way, is kind of a premise I've been waiting for all of my life.
Hmm.
All right, you had me at chimpanzee going ape shit, getting rabies and ripping arms off.
Yeah,
The whole thing takes place at night, right? So you don't get to see the monkey do any of the atrocious shit that it does once it has rabies. Like they had one good kill scene, one where the chimp put his fingers in the kid's mouth, and ripped it out, but it wasn't like a rapey kill. It's not like the death you want. You want
yeah,
his dick ripped off. They
yeah.
didn't give you that. Not once. And they tried the second, or they tried that death twice.
Oh,
Like he's like, don't give me that.
can't do that.
No, no. And when you've got a monkey bashing someone's head into concrete, I want to see that. Like, if you're going to give me a monkey murder film,
Yeah,
it needs to be in the middle of the day, lights out, lights everywhere. We all see what's going on, and that's not what we got. What we got was everything happens at night. And it just didn't have to be that way. There were all kinds of there was some great potential for death in this film,
mm.
um, but none of that. None of that.
Wonder why they shit the bed.
Yeah, I think that someone was like, "No, if we do it at night, it's going to be more believable." No one wants believable. What they want is a chimpanzee that kills people, and you get to see it.
Mm.
I mean, that's what makes films like Terrifier so special.
Yeah, yeah. You know what you're walking into, and they still give you some stuff along the way that's like, 'cause you know you're walking into a B movie. You know it's not going to be with Terrifier. You know it's not going to be anything fantastic. I don't think the guy ever says anything. So, but his job is just to murder people in really fucked up new ways, and it's like you can appreciate the art in that they out of all the horror movies that have been made out there, especially with killer clowns, to still be able to come in with this and add a part that goes makes you go, holy shit, that's fucked up. And it's just, yeah, I see where you're asking, and anybody in a horror film that isn't going for that, I don't really see your fucking angle. I did watch Sinners the other day. That thing, I don't know. Did you get much out of that?
I thought it was kind of cool. I think that there were things that it did that I thought were very, very cool. It wasn't my favorite movie of last year.
That was where I was at. I thought it was a good movie. I didn't feel like it was holy shit movie. It was, I don't know. Yeah, it just it didn't grab me.
It's a better interview with a vampire with more music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd give it that.
Yeah, doesn't feel French. This is it's an American vampire movie.
It definitely got that. I even said that throughout. I go, I feel like they are definitely focusing on the music, and that I guess that wasn't. Maybe that's why I was expecting way more of a fucked up horror movie,
Yeah,
but that was done well and actually had a real producer and director behind it. It wasn't another jack off shitty horror movie. It was actually going to be something good, and yeah, I can see the angle they were going for. They really wanted to showcase the music, and they had some amazing music throughout it. Just, and I can also see the new angle you've never seen that before, of almost a horror musical in a way, and not a musical though, just still having the music embedded in there. Point. I mean, you gotta respect a bunch of different things that I've never seen in a movie before.
there were a lot of things that it did that I don't know that I necessarily like ever. It's a different kind of movie. It was all right. I'm not. It's not a film I'm gonna that enthralled me, and I'm gonna watch it a second or third time. To be fair, though, I do that with the Naked Gun. Yeah,
Still need to watch that.
yeah.
I did watch the new Jack Black Anaconda movie
Yes,
last night. I watched that one.
yes, I liked it.
It wasn't bad. It made me laugh a few times. What's his name?
Paul Rudd.
No, he was actually, if anybody let me down in that movie, he let me down. But maybe that was the guy he was meant to play, and he nailed it. But yeah, I honestly, he and Jack Black both need they need an R rating movie. They need to be able to say, because they don't cuss much, but when they do throw out some shit, when Jack Black goes off on a Tenacious D kind of talk, or when Paul Rudd can just say this shit's fucked up, and he does it in his fucked up, like talking about venti and 20-ounce shit in that thing, like when he can actually throw in some language with it, he I feel like he nails his characters a lot better in that place, because he plays this guy always that's just kind of this burn the fuck out. I don't give a shit about your fucking opinion, and I like the characters he plays. When he can cuss, I feel like he's a funnier guy, and they were definitely keeping this one, like when you're making him say frick instead of fuck. It's like it would have been better with a fuck in there. Little
Wasn't he a
pieces like
school
that.
teacher though?
He was a nobody actor. He was a guy that
That's
had
right.
picked up some bullshit roles on like SWAT, 4 seasons of SWAT, or 4 episodes of SWAT kind of
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then but the guy I liked was, fuck, what's his name? The Zane, or the fucking the guy that always plays like a doofy stoner dude that is their sidekick on there that fucks everything up. Did you see him?
It's been a
Steve
while.
Zane, I think
Oh
is
yes, yeah, yeah,
Steve
yeah. So Steve
Zane.
Zane, yeah. So he's also in the Chad Power Show on Hulu. Really great show. Yeah, that's there's so much going on in that film, and it was it's been a few months since I've seen it. Um, but the cameos were pretty
Yeah,
solid. Um, I
having
liked
Ice
that it
Cube
was
come through.
very meta. Like it was, oh yeah, now we're down here making another Anaconda. Spoiler alert. Yeah, we're remaking it. Yeah, no, a Chinese lady sold it to me for
Tie
$20,000.
tying the fucking pig, the boar to fucking Jack Black when they think he's dead, and he's running with the boar on his back, duct tape to his back. That was some that shit made me laugh pretty fucking good. And then I was as he was running, I'm like, fucking boar. They got to make the boar come back to life, and then the boar comes back to life. Oh shit, it's a good movie. Yeah. What else have I watched? Watched I was watching something on Instagram that said if you want to see how creepy we were in 2006, go on YouTube and look up 2006 VH1 documentary on Britney Spears' childhood. And it's not how creepy her childhood is. I'm sure we can all assume that she had a horrible Justin Bieber like upbringing through the industry. She was 10 years ahead of him, so I can only imagine the shit that she fucking went through. But the way that this documentary was told, the way the people talked about her, old men talked about her, and like as a 10-year-old, she just came out and exuded sexuality, and she came out in this evening dress that was for a much older, much more elegant woman, but really every man in the audience was thinking one thing. And these are old dudes like talking about it, and not talking about it in a how gross it was that we used to look at little girls this fucking way. And it's weird that this was a VH1 written and narrated by a woman, and like the entire theme throughout the entire piece was, did she keep her virginity until she lost it with Justin Timberlake, and was she actually going to wait for marriage? And it was just like the downfall of Britney. This is 2006, right after she cut off her hair and had 3 kids with K-Fed, but hadn't even divorced him yet. And it was just a fucking like holy shit, like the way that, and that was just that's something that I'm having kind of a problem with the media a lot. Like, really, I don't like being told that now I'm bigoted or I'm sexist or I'm fucking racist or any of this shit. And then I see that that was 20 years ago. Like, that was even after my formative years. I was 26 years old when that came out. You'd already plugged my head with even worse fucking propaganda before that.
Yeah.
But now you want to, at 2026, be like, white people, white fucking 40-year-old men are this goddamn problem. And it's like, you fuckers set us up to think this way. You set us up with this kind of shit, putting it in our brains that it's okay to lust after a girl that age as a 45-year-old man. When she was 17, I was 17, or she was born in 1981, so I was 2 years older than her. And I remember thinking when she came out, like, that's a beautiful fucking girl. I couldn't fathom like being a 45-year-old, 46-year-old man that I am now, looking at a 17-year-old girl counting down the days until she was legal to fuck. like now being that age. And that's not society telling me that I'm not supposed to. Society's still telling me that a day she turns 18, I can go fuck her. And as a 46-year-old man now, I still see a kid, like a kid that is still learning her shapes and colors, kid, doesn't have a fucking clue about the real world. And I, as a man who's already lived 26 years outside, 28 years outside of my parents' fucking nest, I'm going to go swoop in and grab that and somehow be on the same mental fucking capacity with this person. Like, get the fuck out of here. And there are men much older than 40 fucking 6 that are going for girls much fucking younger. And that is holy fuck wild to me that just 20 years ago we were in this mindset of that women weren't even calling out, hey, you creepy fuckers, knock this shit off. Like, it should have been pretty goddamn evident. And it was just like, that's how society has been. It's not until now at this phase of where we're at where it's actually gross and being called out on that a 40, 50, 60-year-old man shouldn't be trying to fuck a 20-year-old. And that's kind of baffling as a man my age meeting the women in the gym that are of that age. Like, I just, the conversations that they have, they're nice kids, but they're fucking kids. Like,
I can't imagine giving a shit as a 45, 46-year-old man about what a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old is doing.
yeah,
I can't pretend that I would ever I give a shit.
yeah,
Um, I dumped those years.
yeah.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
No,
Yeah.
no, I just, shit. Like, and I get that it's a sign of status. It is the equivalent of having a $10,000 purse hanging on your arm or a $100,000 ring on your finger, regardless if you're married to a troll as a woman, if you're living in a fancy fucking mansion with a Rolls Royce and your own personal driver and a goddamn butler and all that shit, can do whatever you want whenever you want. People are going to respect you, regardless if you are 20 years old and your husband is 75 years old. You get to live this life. Everybody behind your back is going to call you a live-in whore, but people are still going to invite you to the parties. People are still going to want you to come to their events. People are still going to want to be seen with you in public, and people are still going to want to do interviews with you. People are still going to want you to front their makeup lines. You can Kardashian the shit out of your life being that person. And as much as people might say, you, that's gross, pretty much it's going to be the people that are jealous that it's not their life in the long run. Like, given the opportunity, most people would take that fucking situation. Most old men would be happy to have a hot 20-year-old on their shoulder rather than the fat, mean fucking person that tells them that they suck all day long. So you're probably not going to have too hard of a fucking time convincing the majority of the men out there that this is a better deal if given the opportunity. And most women are going to enjoy never having to worry about being told no on something financially. So there are people out there like myself who don't want to fuck a child regardless how much money I have. And there are women out there that don't want to just go whore themselves out for some old rich guy on a boat. It's cool that there are those people out there, but the vast majority, I'm starting to believe, probably fall into the categories of eh,
So
seeing that because nobody's that fucking upset about what's going on in these Epstein files. So that just
no,
makes me have to think that,
no. Well, I think God bless. You're a 72-year-old executive, and you've got a 27-year-old wife, and you did it because you thought, well, it's very funny that I'm 72 and she's 27. I think we're talking about something absolutely different than we're talking about two grown-ups who are able to make decisions. And you know what? I'm just going to believe it's love.
yeah,
I'm just going to believe that that is love. She loves him,
so
and
much.
he loves her, and good for them. Um, but yeah, we do. We live in a very weird space because we are bombing the shit out of Iran. Sounds like we're going to send the Marines, which sounds like a really bad idea. We're going to put boots on ground. I guess, yeah, and no prosecutions for the Epstein files.
None.
None.
Yeah,
None.
it's
Although it seems like the wheels of justice are going overseas. Like it's
Yeah,
set like the
Poland and those countries or Britain are asking for full unredacted copies. So that, which is bad. Like that is, it should have been handled in house. And when those files come out and it's across the world, like yeah, just I can see America losing complete and total credibility through this whole thing, and it could really. I don't know if the world cares. I think most people probably still, at the end of the day, care more about money. We consume the majority of the shit in the world, so they can either stand on a moral high ground and just stop doing business with the people who buy everything. But I mean, hell, if the whole world were to look at us and be like, "We don't like how you're handling this Iran thing. We don't like what you stand on. We're tired of you going around and just picking up countries that you want to get the oil out of, and then taking them over, wrecking them, and then leaving them like you did Iraq, just waiting for the day that you do need to pump oil out of it." It's not beyond my belief that the world won't eventually say, "We'll just cut you off," because we do need them a lot at the way that we have things going right now. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of a scary place to be.
but here we are
We are
in
here.
Alaska.
And I think if anybody's going to be okay, we're probably the ones that will be. I think that I think that we if we get cut off from food, which could happen, that's going to suck, but we have I think we have ways to get by up here. I think people up here are pretty resilient. So I think we have our own fuel up here that we can get by on. Like if shit really goes south and the normal way of doing things, I'm not as concerned for Alaska as I am for the cities. I think the big cities, that's going to get scary. You're already seeing Australia not getting their food shelves are just bare right now. I'm not sure how that's already affecting, but the oil coming through the Strait of Hormuz, that's got their oil in it. Italy, I think, is having problems too. There's another one I was seeing. A lot of places getting crazy.
Yeah,
Indonesia is having massive oil and fuel shortages.
and people are still traveling.
Yeah,
Like the planes are
planes are flying.
well, they're kind of when they're not running into fire trucks.
Oh, I did see that. That
Yeah.
was an excellent move.
So
And
there was
again, man, I'm tired of that shit. Like, so you cut the fucking funding on these things, setting up these kind of things to happen is
yeah,
what
it's
you're
it's
doing. And
engineered destruction.
it's just like, fuck, we cut the goddamn budget up here, so then they stop plowing between Cooper Landing and fucking Birdwood. Like, the most fucking dangerous, the most fucking heavily hit fucking spot, and that's the spot that you're gonna fucking, just so you get your way and they get to expand the budget next year or next vote. And fuck you, man. Like, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of being held fucking hostage. So now you got 5-hour TSA lines. We're still getting our fucking mail. Vets are still getting fucking paid. The VA is still fucking open. Like, plenty of government agencies are still operating, but you cut that one and you cut whoever the fuck was out there making sure people aren't running into each other. Like, get the fuck out of here. You did shit on purpose to cause something, and it got a bunch of people killed, and it caused a bunch of problems, all because you all want to play a fucking goddamn game of chicken over fuck, and then they all go on vacation. They all go on spring break vacation off to their fucking places, and fuck you. Like, and people still, nobody's doing shit. Nobody's doing shit. Delta just doesn't give them priority seating anymore. That's the consequence that they've suffered since this. They don't get to get on the plane before everybody else
They got to
anymore.
hang out with the peasants.
Yeah. Which, how many of them even fly fucking goddamn commercial anyway? Probably none of them.
I don't know.
So
Bernie was photographed flying.
because he made it a point to be just like the Marine guy that got his hand broken in the fucking thing that he ran in on. He's
Fair.
he's running against the dude like in the beginning. Like as soon as I watched him, I'm like, hey, you shouldn't have yanked him. I also saw that it was a clusterfuck of events. The door came and it clicked shut and it held him in a position he could not get his hand out of. So
Yeah.
they thought he was just hanging on. He really couldn't get out of there. It was a bad situation. But he's a dude who's running against the guy that grabbed him, and he's in there making a fucking scene to boost his own YouTube numbers. And you're just a Marine in there trying to make a stand, but you're not. You're in there doing this so you can get
Yeah.
followers, and
You
that's
have your agenda. Yeah.
yeah, like
Well, everything. See, everything is about followers. Like, I mean, we record this podcast, we post it up. People hear or they don't hear what they want to hear. Um, but it's all for. communication. It's all for engagement. Like it's all engagement farming. It's like if you look at say the Hodge twins Facebook page,
Jesus Christ, those guys,
there's a
man.
post on there every hour. You got to know
Yeah,
that that's not them. That is at this point it is a brand and it is engagement farming. Comment and share or comment below. Tell me what you think. Comment below.
yeah,
And folks ride that have been able to ride that into getting their rent paid or
yeah.
going to God bless them for it.
They're doubling down and staying with their content. They're staying right on his nuts. It's wild. But I guess you got to pick a side. You don't make money if you stay on this side. You stay in this middle gray area. People don't like middle and gray. They want black. They want white. They want somebody to be mad at. When you're like, and it's all of them. That's not what people like. That's not a comfortable place to sit in. It's where you and I are sitting in right now, and it's like all you can say is, "Fuck, man, it is what it is." That's not a fun place for. It's not a fun place to be. It's not a fun place for us to be. Like we both believed in this country at one point to the point that we joined the military, and we thought we were going to go make a better place. We thought we were going to go make a difference, and we would be a part of history and make something happen. And that's a gross feeling when you lose that. When you actually see behind the curtain, you're like, that's not really what we're doing here. And I think that that's not something we've been playing this conspiracy theory game for 20 fucking years, man. Like we've been believing shit that people told us we were weird for 20 fucking years. Stuff that we've it's not even the tip of what has come out of these Epstein files in the past couple of months. And so we had a pretty good warm up to this shit. Like we've been packing our brains with Alex Jones level gay frog shit for 2 decades. All those people that said we were nuts now have to actually look at this shit and say fuck. And I think that is a mind blow to get all of that and more stuff that's making us uncomfortable, stuff that's making us still like holy shit, like the whole drink in the blood kind of stuff could be potentially real, and multiple people coming forward saying they scared the fuck out of the kids and raped the fuck out of the kids just to make the goddamn blood have
adrenochrome, yeah,
adrenochrome in it.
you
Like,
know,
like it's really pointing towards that shit could be real, and that stuff that even me was like, come on now, that's not. So for me to have to
pizza
accept that,
slices,
yeah, man, and like
oh,
all the
pepperoni,
all the comments about
cheese,
jerky and
jerky,
pizza,
grape soda.
yeah, like we know it all. We know it all is now being tracked, meaning these real fucking things and these conspiracy theories that we even were like maybe that's a little much are coming out as being very fucking true.
Yeah, turns
And
out they're all satanic pedophiles.
so we are sitting here, taking a very small dose of the reality at the level that the majority of the common public are, and I think they are either I think it's too much. I think it is just too goddamn much. I think it is a huge holy shit moment of like, if I accept this and I actually start caring about this, my brain's gonna fucking bust, and there's nothing I can do about it at the end of the day. And what can I do if I stop paying my taxes? Like some people have suggested, I can go fucking claim a bunch of bullshit dependents and potentially set myself up. But the country as a whole is not going to do that. And what happens if we crash the government if we stop paying taxes? Like, does it really benefit us? Our roads all quit getting maintained. All of our schools close. The fucking shipments of stuff they will just sanction us. Like, who if a whole state were to buck up against the system, they will just sanction that state. And we're not in a position where we can even do that as a state and say, okay, we're now going to provide. We don't have enough meat and vegetables and groceries to do shit in this state on our own for the most part. It's certain people are prepared for that, but the majority of us are not. I think that we as a state will be able to do a little bit better than, like I said, the big cities. If you take a place like Denver or New York or Los Angeles and you shut off the options, you're gonna have mass fucking chaos. And they know that too. They know that when people get hungry, when people get desperate, that's when you got a real problem. And you're talking millions of angry people all coming together. And you're seeing it. You're seeing this weird fucking culmination of veterans mixed with like the blue hairs, with the black people, with the Hispanic people. Everybody is that has been kind of fucked over. You saw the MAGA split where it's not the vets that were in that MAGA world that were kind of just hanging on the fence of like, yeah, I like this side more than I like Kamala. We fucking dumped the fuck over and said, we don't want shit to do with this motherfucker as much as we don't want to deal with fucking Kamala. And that was where you saw this weird split on that one, where we never thought Trump was our buddy. We never thought that he actually gave a fuck about America, or but we at least hoped that as a business person he would see the benefit of cleaning up the budget, not letting people just run amok through here. We wanted him to take the fucking drug cartel members out of the fucking apartment complexes in downtown Arvada, Colorado, that they were just posting up shop, or where the fuck that was in Colorado, but they were taking over apartment complexes, is what the news said.
Oh, yeah, Aurora, Aurora,
Aurora,
Colorado.
Aurora,
Yeah.
Aurora, and they we that was what we wanted. We didn't want them to come take Poncho away from us. That
No,
wasn't the plan. That was not the goal that we were going with on this plan. We wanted cartel fucking members to not be taking over, kicking people out of their apartment complexes and running drugs and hookers out of those apartment complexes. Like, that's not okay. We wanted those people protected, not coming to Alaska just because he's the one Mexican in town. So you go and snag him up. Like, what the fuck, man? That's my feelings on that one. But anyway, they yeah, I I think it's a lot of information that a lot of people had to take on all at once, and they are just not ready to take that all in. I think that it would break their brains, and most people don't have the time that you and I have, as you said, being working from home, which is what I'm doing. Also gives you a lot of free time, so it gives you a lot of time to think. And I didn't have time when I was running the well business to think about this much stuff. Like, I had a lot of other stuff on my plate that I had to put my attention towards, and so you let a lot of these things that really do matter, and a lot of these things that are just slipping past, our rights, our freedoms, the separation between what we are versus what they are, and how they are able to get away with whatever the fuck they want to while we are held accountable for things that don't even really matter. All of that, all of that is very much more in your face and clear when you have time like we do to sit there and actually scroll through the day's news and actually listen to the podcast, watch the news, check your newsreel. You get to see, you get to actually dig in and go in depth and see if this shit you read is even real or not. I didn't have that luxury before. I didn't have that much time to do all that stuff, and it's I get why most people don't have the time to actually sit behind it, and so it's like, fuck. At the end of the day, I got two kids and a wife that I got to keep taking care of. I've got a mom that's getting old, and I got a mortgage that I'm still gonna be paying on for another 25 years, and three car payments. So I don't really have time to sit here and try to go fight for a bunch of kids that got molested back in 2013. I get it. I get it. And it will just eventually continue to happen like this until it gets so bad that people can't ignore it. That is what will happen. That is what the elites will learn from this, is that we got off with another one. Nobody gives a shit. One person will go down. They'll pin it on Clinton, or they'll pin it on
on
somebody else.
Jelaine.
Yeah, she's already out though. I mean,
Well, she's still in. Yeah, kind of. Um,
her doppelganger is.
a lady that looks a lot like her. Um, yeah, I don't think he's dead. Um, I think that the file release, there's so much that was fucked up with that, obviously. Um, but apparently the Department of Justice got those redacted files from the FBI, like they sent them over redacted.
Yeah,
Um, we're where are we get when are we getting those, man?
yeah,
Like we're not.
we're not.
We're not. We're just
And somebody in that department, they keep getting names. They keep threatening to drop names. They keep threatening, if you're not going to do it, we will. And it's like, why are we still
and
doing
they
this back?
never do.
Like, if they're not doing it, then just do it. Just go out there, get the fucking names out there. Like, get Massey out there with everything that he's got. But I don't know. It's like everybody's got some dirt on them. Everybody has dirt on them, I think. And it's
Everything is
just,
rage bait.
yeah,
Everything is rage bait, and everyone is compromised. If you are in that position, you are likely in that position because someone has a picture of you with either what was it, a dead girl or a live boy?
that'll do it.
Yeah, yeah. Which uh, join the cult, chop your nuts off. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shit. That was fun.
Yeah.
All right.